Hey there, amazing fans! Before we dive into today's drama, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to us. Now, welcome to another relaxing moment with Sugar Stories. Grab a seat, sit back, relax, and let's journey into the story together. The world had never been kind to Mama Ijeoma. Every morning before the sun even rose above the skyline of Lagos, she would wake up to the sound of dripping water from her leaking roof. Her one-room apartment smelled faintly of detergent and bleach, because she often carried the scent of her work home with her. She was a cleaner, a janitress in one of the tallest corporate towers downtown. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid just enough to keep her alive and to feed her daughter, Chisholm. On this particular day, her stomach rumbled louder than usual. She had skipped breakfast, so her daughter could eat. All she carried with her was a piece of bread wrapped in a black nylon bag. That would be her lunch, her dinner, and perhaps even her breakfast the next day, if she could save half of it. As she walked toward the tower, weaving through the noise of Lagos traffic and the calls of street hawkers, she noticed something unusual. Near the lobby entrance, under the shade of a broken umbrella, sat a boy in a wheelchair. He couldn't have been more than 12 or 13, though his face carried the tired look of someone much older. His clothes were ragged, and his thin hands trembled as he tried to wheel himself closer to the building. Most people passed him by, without so much as a glance. Some muttered insults. "Lazy beggar," one man hissed. Others threw side eyes, quick to avert their gaze as if poverty itself was contagious. Mama Ijeoma slowed her steps. Her heart clenched. She knew that look, the look of someone hungry, invisible, forgotten. The boy's eyes met hers. There was something in them that startled her, not just hunger, but dignity. He didn't stretch out his hand to beg like the others. He just sat quietly, watching, his eyes darting toward the black nylon bag in her hands. She hesitated. That bread was all she had. If she gave it away, she would go hungry until tomorrow. But as her gaze lingered on the boy's frail frame, she felt an ache deeper than her own hunger. Slowly, she walked up to him. She knelt, unwrapped the nylon, and tore the bread in two. "Here, my son," she said softly. "Eat." The boy's lips trembled as he accepted it. He took a small bite, chewing slowly, as though savoring not just the food but the kindness itself. Then he looked up at her with eyes that seemed far too wise for his age. "Auntie," he whispered, his voice calm and steady, "may God reward you beyond what you can imagine." Something about the way he said it made her shiver. His words weren't ordinary. They carried weight, like a blessing. Behind her, laughter rang out. Her coworkers, also cleaners, had been watching. "See Mama Ijeoma, oh," one of them sneered. "Even beggars don't reject her poverty food." Another snickered. "She's feeding crippled children now. Maybe that's her new family." Their laughter echoed, cruel and sharp, but she ignored them. She simply patted the boy's shoulder and walked into the building. Unbeknownst to her, a black SUV parked across the street had tinted windows rolled down just slightly. Inside, two men in black suits watched carefully, one holding a camera. "She passed the test," one of them murmured. The next morning, Mama Ijeoma walked to work again, her stomach still empty, but her spirit strangely lighter. As she approached the tower, she saw the boy again. He was waiting in the same spot, this time smiling as if he knew she'd come. She sighed, pulled out another small piece of bread she had saved, and handed it to him. "You again," she said gently. "Do you not have anyone to take care of you?" The boy only smiled wider. "I have more than you know." She frowned, puzzled by his words, but brushed it off. Inside the lobby, the other cleaners mocked her again. One of them, Chioma, rolled her eyes. "Mama Ijeoma, maybe you should just adopt the beggar. He looks more like your son than your real one." Her heart burned with shame, but she said nothing. By noon, the lobby was filled with executives, secretaries, and visitors. Suddenly, the security guard stiffened. Radios crackled. Something was happening outside. And then it began. Black SUVs rolled in 1, 2, then 10, then 20. Doors opened, and men in identical black suits poured out, their movements sharp and synchronized. They stormed into the lobby in perfect formation, nearly 100 of them. People gasped, some screamed. The cleaners scattered, hiding behind pillars. The boy in the wheelchair rolled forward slowly, the crowd parting as though an invisible force pushed them aside. Then, to the shock of everyone, the 99 bodyguards dropped to one knee before him. The boy's small hands gripped the arms of his wheelchair. Then, with slow, deliberate effort, he rose to his feet. His legs did not tremble. He stood tall, strong, his head held high. Gasps filled the air. He wasn't crippled at all. Mama Ijeoma clutched her chest, her breath stolen. The boy unzipped his ragged shirt, revealing underneath a white tunic embroidered with a golden crest, the royal insignia of the Okoye dynasty, one of the wealthiest and most powerful families in Nigeria. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Is that? No, it can't be. Prince Somedina? The boy turned, his voice now loud and commanding. My name is Prince Somedina Okoye, he declared. For weeks, I walked among you disguised as a cripple to see who would treat me with kindness. And only one person saw me as human, this woman. He pointed directly at Mama Ijeoma. This janitress gave me her bread when she had nothing left. When the world mocked me, she honored me. From this day forward, she is my family. Whoever mocks her, mocks me. All eyes turned to her. The manager who had once scolded her for taking too many breaks collapsed in shock. The cleaners who had mocked her bowed their heads, ashamed. Tears streamed down Mama Ijeoma's face. She couldn't comprehend what was happening. The boy she had fed was a prince. A real prince. And now 99 bodyguards stood waiting for his next command. Protect her, he ordered. And just like that, the entire building stopped. In the days that followed, Mama Ijeoma's life changed completely. She was escorted by black SUVs to and from work, though she no longer needed to clean. The prince insisted she resign. You are no longer a servant, he told her firmly. You are under my protection. She was brought to the royal estate, a palace of marble, fountains, and gold-plated gates. Her daughter, Chisholm, was given the best medical care and a scholarship to study abroad. Mama Ijeoma was dressed in gowns, her worn-out slippers replaced with shoes fit for royalty. But with blessings came danger. Not everyone was happy with the prince's revelation. Enemies of the dynasty saw Mama Ijeoma as a weakness, a pawn to exploit. One night, as she slept, a brick crashed through her window. Attached to it was a note. Leave the prince, or you and your daughter will pay the price. Fear consumed her. But when she showed the note to Prince Somedina, he only smiled. They will not touch you, he said. Not while my 99 men breathe.
And he was right.
Weeks later, masked men attempted to storm her neighborhood. But before they could reach her, the prince's bodyguards surrounded her house, forming a living shield. The attackers fled, realizing they were outnumbered and outmatched. From that day, Mama Ijeoma was no longer mocked. She was honored. The same co-workers who had once laughed now begged for her forgiveness. She forgave them, not out of weakness, but because kindness was all she knew. At a grand ceremony, she was seated beside Prince Somedina. Cameras flashed, reporters whispered. The world wanted to know, who was this woman? Mama Ijeoma raised her head, tears glistening in her eyes. She spoke into the microphone with a trembling voice. I gave him bread, but he gave me back a destiny. The crowd erupted in applause. Kindness is never wasted. What you give today might be the seed of your tomorrow.